Yeah, phase in.
into this.
Yeah,
As
fuck with it.
I'm out of here.
So we gotta do it again.
3, 2, 1, and we're on the air.
That is Frederick Krebs' only segment in the entire podcast from now on. Every time I should just like take
just
that,
take that clip.
tape
and
that
just
clip,
use it. Yeah, yeah.
and then just use it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the guest will always be you on the side, even if it's someone else different. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. No, he's saying it would be in black. Like you wouldn't actually be able to see this. You wouldn't be. You would only be looking at the logo.
Oh,
during
right.
that
Okay, and I'll
segment.
just use that audio clip.
Yeah. It would be funny if it was just me every time. And just
Okay. So, welcome to the Waiting Room Podcast. Wow, it's so difficult to do this with
Thank you for having
bubble
me.
tea. This is Max Gerlach. Everyone watching definitely knows who he is until this grows a platform. But for now, today is Sunday, and you took the ACT yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
How was it?
It was. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was hard because of the extensive amount of time I spent like
Studying.
preparing for it
Right.
this time around, but it was just a long, grueling process. Like not just on the test day, but like all the money that I spent, to like
What do you mean?
get it.
Oh, 'cause you took prep classes.
No, I didn't take a prep class. I actually did a one-on-one tutor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth it.
So the cameras aren't picking it up, but so before let me quickly pause real quick. So we decided that this podcast is basically going to be me talking with other guests, like people from school or other people who have some sort of, I guess, dedication. What is he doing? So before this podcast, we decided that. So today's episode 1 of the podcast, and we wanted to do it sort of like a trial, and we weren't sure exactly how we were going to do it, but we're kind of figuring it out. And we decided that before today's episode, we were going to go get bubble tea. And Freddie's off screen right now. He grabbed the wrong straw. So at bubble tea, right, it's either what's the skinny straw for? Is it just if you don't get the
just
bubbles?
no bubbles, no tapioca.
So he got tapioca, but he got the skinny straw. Yeah. So he can't actually get the bubbles into his mouth. So he's kind of like sucking and then like ejecting them into his mouth off screen. And now he's shooting them like
back into the cup. Oh, that's funny.
So each week, I'm sure I already have a few guests kind of figured out. But this podcast basically, the reason it's called Waiting Room is because we'll get back to ACT and standardized tests later. But the reason,
the reason it's called Waiting Room.
So the way I thought about it was the set would kind of be designed like a waiting room space. It doesn't really look like a waiting room space, but it's close enough. And obviously each, like right now on the table, you can see like records and like, what else? Like a cassette player, drumsticks, which kind of like shows the theme of today's episode or each episode and the guitar. But
it's actually a bass.
It's a bass guitar. But I was thinking like each episode it'd basically be like each of the guests are waiting for their next chapter, kind of.
Oh, I
Does
see.
that make
So
sense?
it's like you talk to them about what they're waiting for.
Yeah,
in a
and like their
sense?
passions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's the theme. And today we
We're
both
gonna
recently
talk about baseball.
All right, Max continuously has been thinking that he looks like a baseball player. Now I say he looks like
It's a poll. You gotta poll it. Do I look like a baseball player
or a
do I look like
2013 rapper.
a rapper?
That's
from
what I say he looks like.
2013? I don't think I look.
He's oh yeah, we'll talk about TikToks later. Let's get back to standardized testing though, because so last week I took the SAT.
Okay.
It was my second time taking it.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, I got a 1460. Not to flex, but I got a 1460. Now,
That's no flex in this day and age, John.
me with my Asian parents though, they want a 1500 kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Max
That's
is
why I took the ACT and got a 30 instead of a. You know, the comparison. It's like a.
Can you Google the?
That's like a 13. Yeah.
Yeah, can you Google the conversion?
You got a 1350.
Oh snap!
Nice. What's your GPA looking like, Chief? -4.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
Princeton.
oh, snap. Oh, okay.
Which Princeton football team ranked? What's their rank? How good is Princeton football? No. Princeton's the number one academic school.
Freddie, come
But
here.
I'm saying,
come on
what's their rank in football? Because that's what you would be going for. So if
College
you're gonna
is
flex,
like now.
you gotta flex that.
Now it's like depending on what you're going for. It's like really weird.
Like you wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going to Alabama on an academic scholarship. Like people would be like, okay.
I told the Dartmouth coach about my GPA, and he said, "That's great to hear."
That's great. Oh yeah, he sent the whole transcript.
Yeah, he asked me for my transcript.
Love the film. Make sure you. Oh wait, back. Oh wow. Okay. So Freddie's, you're gonna go to college for football for sure. You hope so.
We'll see.
We'll see in a year. And like, but it's like also different for me though, because when you're going to college for like a football scholarship, it's not really your grades don't matter as much, right? Yeah. So like for yeah. So like for like film, it's different because from the people I talked about it with, it's not really just your grades. It's mainly like, oh, your portfolio. Are you good at making film? Because like they can't teach you your creativity. They can give you the equipment. If like you're filming on your iPhone, and they can give you a whole red. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not really about your grades, although that matters. Like my parents always said it like your SAT and stuff like that is kind of like just the gate into the admissions process. Mm-hmm. Where if you get over, according to them, a 1,500, then they look at all your other stuff. Mm-hmm. So like especially with like let's say Ivy Leagues, they'll look at you and see like, okay, this person got a 15. Everyone over a 1,500, you have a shot. Everyone under, you don't have a shot.
Yeah.
But obviously there are like exceptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like, no. I mean, he means he means like academic wise, like.
Yeah, like if someone, let's say, example, found a cure for a disease, but they're just really bad at like I don't know English, like it's different.
Yeah, but and that also depends what school you're trying to apply
Yeah,
to.
yeah, for sure. But like I think for standardized testing though, it's like really tough thing because it's a lot of standardized testing. It's like if you know how to take it, there's like a way to take it, or at least that's how I feel. Like it's not really about knowing the content. If you can figure out how to take an English section and you can guess your way through the entire thing without reading a passage.
I'm personally like terrible at taking standardized tests. Like I do really well on tests that I study for, like school related tests about things we've been learning.
Right.
But like standardized tests,
you also can't study for standardized tests.
Well, you can, and I did, and that's how I did. I know I did better. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Wait,
like
so this was your second time taking it?
Yeah.
How'd you do on the first time?
I got a 30 on the first one.
And it's out of 34, right? Because I don't take the ACT.
It's out of 36.
It's out of 36?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I always thought it was out of 34.
No, Ian got a 35. So, first time. Yeah, right?
Whoa.
Some people are just good at, like, I have a better GPA than he does. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, like, Aaron's...
These things are, like, not cool to compare. But still, like, I'm just saying there's no, like, correlation between your course load and your, SAT.
I know for a fact, if I didn't say that I had a 31 on my ACT and a 1370 that coach to the one, like I just saw a random coach from Dartmouth at this Rutgers camp, and like he asked me like what my scores were, and I just told him. He said, "Oh, you wrote my name down." Like he didn't know anything about me other than that, and he wrote my name down.
From your just strictly from your like standardized testing scores.
Mm-hmm. And then
I'm saying it's like the gate. Right.
And he came up to me at the end of the camp and talked to me and like gave me his business card. Like so like none of that would have happened if I didn't have a good score.
So but like how important are standardized testing really? Like if you really think about it, how important is it actually? Like obviously it's important with getting into college. But like based on how the test is structured, it doesn't test you on that much.
No, not at all.
Like
the amount of content you need to know is like up to like a beginning of calculus, like a beginning of pre-calculus level.
I feel like I learned all the stuff that you would need on the test, like by freshman year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went into freshman year knowing everything on the test. Sure, each year, like sophomore year and junior, like it enhanced like all the stuff I knew. Like it definitely helped a lot with the English section. But I knew how to solve all the math problems by like freshman year.
See, no, I there's a couple problems that I definitely learned how to solve in recent years.
With the SAT or both?
The ACT, I don't remember the SAT really. But I think part of it is that you can answer every I keep
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You can answer every question. You can answer every question without knowing how to do the math. If you know how to answer the question. You know what I mean? Like
I think that's
a
more
very
the case
specific
with English, though.
Well, no, I'm thinking of a very specific thing where it's like, you know, if the question has variables and the answer has variables, pick a number for the variable. You don't have to know how to actually factor the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it has X, Y, and Z, pick 2 for X, 3 for Y, 4 for Z, do the equation, do the answer choices, find the one that matches the equation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Okay.
and that's the kind of stuff that you can't. That's the kind of stuff that some people just are like, that's their first thing that they go to right away after they don't know how to solve it, like, algebraically.
Right.
But, like, for me, that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, I want to solve it how it, like, in a manner in which I learned it. And that's something that I struggle with in most areas of standardized testing.
I saw on YouTube, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like a video where it shows you the way to guess on a math problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you like a 50, like, it sounds like not that much. But it gives you a 50% shot of getting it right as a guessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like, if you look at the problem and you look at the answers, obviously, I talked to some other people about it. Like, it's an obvious thing, but, like, the wrong answers are derived from the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like some form. If there's, like, one that's a fraction, all the other choices aren't a fraction, the fraction one's going to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, unless they, like, throw a real curveball at you. But most of the time, the fraction one's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like we're really... It's obviously
it's
if you're
tricky.
just randomly guessing, you might if you're picking A, B, C, or D, or E just on a Scantron, you might pick the fraction one. But if you know how to take the test,
yeah, and
you
that's
can get the right answer.
something that's like, you know, that's why I did the tutoring thing, because I didn't know how to take the test. It's just not like my brain works differently. That's why I got a 1250 on an SAT and a 30 on the ACT.
but that's a really
studied,
bad way to standard.
Yeah, and I studied for the SAT. I didn't study for the ACT.
You didn't?
Yeah, and I got a 30.
Wait,
you
so
know
the
what I mean?
prep you did recently though?
That, you know, the first time, I mean, both times are my first time. Yeah.
Where did you take your prep stuff? Is it at school?
I did the one at school.
How was it?
It was terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
I took the prep.
It was
So
cheap though.
yeah, that's good. So out of the two, so I took it twice. Before the first time, I took this Asian like tutor course where it was just a bunch of try-hard Asians.
Yeah.
That were all in like one room under these like insane professors.
Yeah.
Like taught you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went in really calm because I was like, okay, I'm ready. And then the second time I went in beforehand, I was like, it was like 2 days before I was taking it. I took it June 1st.
Okay.
It was 2 days before, and I was like, I haven't studied at all since my previous time that I took it. I went on Khan Academy. I did 2 problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then I researched, and Khan Academy, apparently their problems are really inaccurate. Like, they're both made by the College Board.
Okay.
The SAT and Khan Academy. But
Yeah.
apparently it's a terrible way to study.
Okay.
Like, it's a really bad way to study, especially the math problems. Because apparently, like, it's not even close to what the actual SAT was. So I did 2 problems on Khan Academy, and I got them both right. And I was like, okay, I should be ready. So then I went into the test. I definitely did better on the English section. But that's just because, you know, I had more junior
This
year.
is last week?
Yeah. I definitely did better on the English section just because, you know, junior year we were taking AP Lang. You know, it's just, like, easier. You know,
Yeah.
like, we trained kind of for the multiple choice thing.
Yeah.
But for the math section, I guarantee I got more wrong this time than I did last time.
Okay.
Because I just didn't study. And
yeah. No, I
Khan Academy was
but
just a
that's
terrible
why
help.
super scoring is a good thing, because you never really know what's going to happen
Yeah.
on test day. You know what I mean? Like, there could be, like, a fire, and they would have to, like, evacuate, like, the other
Right.
half of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's just
Yeah, I
some
know what you
crazy
mean.
stuff.
No, for, like, the super score, though. Like, the schools that I want to go to all super score.
Yeah, me too.
But not all of them. Are all the schools that you want to go to, Freddie? Out of the colleges you want to go to, how many of them super score? Or do you know? You don't know?
Dude,
Like-
it doesn't matter. He's done. He doesn't need to, yeah. He took his composite, yeah.
No, 'cause the first time I took the SAT, I got a
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Can you
you're
do a quick
just gonna
check of the
take
cameras, make sure they're all still running? Yeah, so like the tests are like it's like a. I think it's like more and more colleges are starting to not. If you do a light tap on the photo button, light tap, but don't tap it down all the way. Is it still recording? No. Hold up. All right, we gotta tell
coffee break.
coffee break. What's like? What do you think they should do instead of standardized tests though? Because like there's not many other options.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of schools talk about doing like a holistic. You know, I've been to a lot of college, like meetings before, or like whatever they like advertise their college, and they're all like, yeah, we do a holistic approach, and you kind of wonder like, what does holistic approach mean, and they say that it means like looking at your application as a whole, but I don't really know what that entails, but if it is truly a different method of looking at an applicant, then I think that's the way that more colleges should be going. But maybe that's just because I'm bad at standardized testing and I don't want them to look at that and be like, you suck.
We're back. There's a camera difficulty, so you're not gonna get an angle on me. Sorry, you're just gonna get this main one and then that one. The thing with standardized testing, jeez, it's gonna become ASMR eventually with these things. With like you were saying before about like studying, right?
Yeah.
The issue is I procrastinate. Like
Well,
crazy.
you can't blame standardized testing for that.
Yeah, that's true though.
You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty solid on like time management. So studying wasn't an issue for me. It was just like what to study. You know what I mean?
You don't, because you can't study for the English section at all.
No, but I didn't need to. I got a 34.
English is my worst section.
I don't know. You just have to read a lot of books.
Well,
Because then you just get used to seeing correct sentences.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to like think about
but I'm not talking about the
subject,
grammar
object,
section.
verb, or whatever. Subject, verb, object.
I'm not talking about the grammar section though.
Well, okay, so you're talking about reading passages then. What's
Yeah.
your issue? Your issue's probably not like
Analyzing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm,
So
like,
it's
bad at
like reading
analyzing.
comprehension just kind of
But I've
comes
definitely
with
gotten better
reading.
like in the past year though. I've definitely gotten better.
Yeah, then if you still have a score that you're not satisfied with, just take it again. You know what I mean? You could just keep taking it. That's the kind of fluke about the fluke.
Right.
So
You said earlier about how with I don't know if you procrastinated or you just get like addicted like at night with TikToks. do you procrastinate?
No,
with
I
TikToks?
mean this is last night or 2 nights ago was the first night that I ever watched TikToks. Like,
really?
Yeah, for an extended period of time. So I
How
can't
long
really
did you
give
watch
it.
it for? Like give.
Probably like 45 minutes.
That's not bad.
No, I know. I'm not like I can't really do that stuff for too long, and I also needed to get up early the next day for the ACT. So
I mean, sometimes for me it's like at night I'll just be on my phone and like
yeah,
watching like a show. I've been watching like the show Billions recently.
yeah.
So I just have that on like I just pull it up and I just watch like 2 episodes. But that's like 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and that
that's
makes sense.
really bad for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like if you make a schedule, or if you make like what are you procrastinating? Like homework and studying? Because
Just
if it's that
anything.
stuff, like I would write. Like I use the planner that they give us at school.
Okay, yeah, with that though, I used it in the beginning half of the year.
I don't
The
use
s-
it anymore because we don't get
same.
any homework.
Yeah, the
but
second
like
it hit like May,
for
I
the
stopped using
whole May until we hit June, pretty much I used it. And then what I would do is when I did it, I would just cross it off. But like simply crossing it off would
Feels
just make me
satisfying.
want to do the next
it.
one.
Right.
And then eventually you're just done. And when you cross everything off, then you can watch TV or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like sometimes I'll just like, let's say, especially when like watching shows, I'll just like watch a show and then give or take 30 minutes later, I'm like, wow, that 30 minutes flew by.
Yeah.
And I have so much that I still have to do, which is really bad 'cause like especially recently, like there's been more and more things that I have to do with like film and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it's like the same with you in music, right? 'Cause you've been doing, what is it, like practices or like
Yeah, I have a lot of rehearsals.
for what? Like I used to know, but then like I kind of
Okay.
didn't hear about it for a while. So what is it actually? 'Cause I know it's at school.
Okay, so I have a recital tomorrow. I'm performing with one of my teachers for his recital.
It's just like graduation recital, right?
Well, yeah, he's mastering. He's getting his master's degree in wind instruments.
Okay.
So in order to fulfill some course requirement, he
Right.
has to hold a recital playing like all of the instruments that he's doing. So, I'm accompanying him on a couple songs,
Mm-hmm.
and then once that's over, that's gonna be pretty good. I'm trying to record an album. I don't know if that's gonna work though, because the teacher that I'm trying to record it with, he just got some dogs. So I don't know if he's gonna have any time, like after school.
Is it Slavis?
Yeah.
He's doing my short film.
Yeah, I know.
Did he?
It's on Monday, right?
Yeah, it starts tomorrow.
I need to talk to him about recording because the band.
Who's in the band?
It's me. I don't want to just like say people's names.
What instruments do you have then?
Keyboard, bass,
Okay.
guitar, saxophone, drums, and a vocalist.
Okay, and you do drums or do you do bass or do you do both?
I do drums and I sometimes do some vocals.
You do vocals?
Sometimes.
So what kind of music though? Have you guys?
I don't really know how
decided,
to explain it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had the album so that we could play it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had the album so we could play a song. I just have all the videos recorded, like, on my camera roll.
Right.
So I don't really know, like, how to describe it as a genre. It's like, mishmash.
Kind of like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of different inspirations because of just all the different people. Like, I had never talked to any of these people, really, before I started the band.
Right. Is it though, like, is it pop or it's not pop, right?
No, I mean, it's definitely like it's definitely like newer.
But it's not pop, so it's like
No, it's like it definitely draws a lot from jazz and rock. So it's like that's why it is hard to explain.
right. Like,
It's not really blues.
is it
you know.
all original or is it like
Yeah, it's totally
covers, too?
original. No, there's no covers. That's how we wanted to start, but
Covers?
yeah, but it just ended up people weren't like practicing. So I was like, you know what, let's just make up our own stuff.
Right.
So it's been stressful trying to figure out how that was going to work out, but we had a rehearsal on Friday, and my goal was to work through every song. We're doing like a 4-song album,
Oh, okay.
but to like finish like have a structure for every song,
Okay.
because I don't think we'd ever done that before. And if we're going to record it, it needs to be good. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Are you trying it so it's like, are the songs meant to, like, is there like a purpose to it, or is it just kind of like you're just trial and error right
we
now?
we still did have this discussion occasionally. It's definitely still a little bit of trial and error. Like the songs themselves sometimes have, like the first song on the second song on the album, I wrote a poem a while ago.
Is that where the lyrics are from?
That's at the beginning. I kind of do a little, I wouldn't call it spoken word, but it's not really singing either. But I read the poem at the beginning of the song
To the beat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the song kind of falls into place a little bit more after that's over, and then there's like another like chorus that the actual vocalist sings, and so I would say that's probably one of our better songs, and I think it definitely holds a little bit more meaning,
Right.
to me at least.
Are you trying to go to college for music?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
So is this more of just like a hobby then?
Yeah.
'Cause you also do jazz, concert band. What
Mm-hmm.
else? Is there like anything outside of school they do besides the?
I do some other jazz stuff, like I play gigs
with like some of the
with
people from.
some of the like the teachers sometimes,
Right.
and then also some of the other people.
What are some of the gigs you've done?
Like it's actually really funny. The other day I did Mrs. D. Simone's retirement party, and it was like all the teachers
Yeah,
I'd
I heard
ever.
it was just like all the teachers and then you guys, right?
Yeah, but I was the only student there, and it was
Really?
like all a bunch of teachers. It was really weird.
Did you stay the whole time?
No, thank God I left. And Mrs. LaFauci was like,
The vice principal, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
she was like, oh, do you want some? Are you gonna have some dinner? I was like, oh no,
I have other
I have dinners
plans."
I have dinners ready at home.
Home.
Thank you. Bye.
Were you like opening?
Yeah, I mean, we started, like, we definitely, we opened, and then during cocktail hour, but it wasn't an hour, it was, like, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So that sounds like, I feel like, especially with those gigs, like, I feel like it can, I don't want to say it can get boring, but especially when you're not playing.
Yeah, certainly.
Because I'm sure there are, like, parts of it where it's, like, you're listening to whoever it is, just, like 50 speeches in a row. And
Mhm.
like,
There were two.
there were
And
two
I
speeches.
missed, like, there was a really cheesy joke in the first one, and, like,
Do you know what it was?
I think all the, no, God. And I think I missed all the, I think all the music teachers were expecting me to do the, like, the ba-dum-tsh.
Oh,
I just totally
gosh.
was not paying attention, and I was just, like, sitting on the drums, like,
Wait, how do you know they were, like, waiting for you to do the bottom?
because, like, Mr. Messenger, my band teacher, looked over at me and was like, yeah, but at that point it would have
was,
been
like, too late.
weird, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah, so I just was like,
Oh gosh, that sounds terrible.
yeah,
No,
but
'cause-
other than that, it was fine. I mean,
Right, 'cause like for the music banquet that we did. So
Mhm.
for the music banquet, I did 2 videos for. So originally I was only supposed to do 1.
okay,
It was just the slideshow. I've done it for the
Yeah.
past 2 or 3 years.
yeah,
And that's like a very standard thing. But
Yeah.
then this year and last year we both did not an announcement video, like an announcement video for the show.
yep,
But this year he wanted to do like a hype video kind of thing, if that makes
Mhm.
sense, where it's like kind of just hypes up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
band,
yeah.
you know what I mean? There's no really, like, it doesn't announce the show for the year. It doesn't. What? Do that for the football team?
dude. Did you
Yeah.
see his?
Did you see the hype
band
video?
one? Did you see the final, like the finished version?
I'll show you later.
It's so tough.
Here's the okay. So I'll tell you real quick how I filmed it. The link is in the description, by the way. It's on this channel.
Shameless
Um,
self-promotion.
Basically, we were in a concert recital, like not dress rehearsal. I'm sorry. It was a dress rehearsal, and then basically Mess was like, "Okay, we're gonna do a hype video this year, and then John's gonna make it." And then
And
that
you
was the
were
first
like,
time.
you were like,
Yeah, he said it in front of the entire
yeah, the entire ensemble.
ensemble, and I was like, I didn't know about this, but okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. So after Mess, he told me so
Yeah,
that
somehow
I was
you spun the questions about music back onto yourself.
I didn't mean to.
I'm kidding.
But so I ended up starting to make the film.
Mm-hmm.
And originally the plan was the hype video was supposed to show at freshman orientation
Mm-hmm.
the day after the banquet.
Okay.
And then it was the morning of the banquet. And then he asked me, or it was either the morning of the banquet or the day before. And he asked me, "Oh, I have an idea. What if we showed both videos at the banquet?" I didn't have the hype video ready. He doesn't
Yeah.
know this. I didn't have the hype video ready. And I was like, "Oh, of course."
Yeah.
'Cause what was I gonna say?
Yeah.
So I tried my best to get it done, and I did. And then when we got to the actual banquet,
Mm-hmm.
the audio messed up.
What?
Did I not
No,
tell
you
that?
didn't tell me
Okay,
that.
so for the slideshow,
Yeah.
the audio was quiet as crap
Okay.
because it was a mono speaker and not a stereo speaker.
Yeah.
That was the issue. We found that out afterwards. But so the music was really, really, really quiet
Okay.
for the hype video because we played the hype video first. It was really quiet, but the visuals looked decent.
Yeah, but that's not that hype. If
Yeah.
it's quiet.
And no,
You
but
know.
also they had like part of the lights on. And the
In the
video itself, you
room?
know, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty dark.
It needs to be dark. Yeah.
The video
watch
was
it,
like
yeah.
difficult to see.
Yeah, it sucks.
But and then the audio didn't help.
Yeah.
So I was like, at that point I was like, oh, that sucks. But like, at least I'll have the slideshow that it can kind of relieve
Mhm.
it. So then we get to the slideshow. It's at the end of the night. And we get to the slideshow and it's just quiet as crap. Right? It's really quiet. It's at least visible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a slideshow.
Yeah, it's visible. So then we get to the section. So in the middle, I added a part where I have some alumni
Okay.
talk. It was at the Barnes & Noble Jazz thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
I interviewed some of the alumni that attended that.
Yeah, I remember.
So I threw the clips in, and I was like, when it gets to that part, everyone's gonna like, oh my god, I remember them, I missed them, right? And it'll be like a very throwback kind of moment.
Okay.
that was the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that part, and there's just no audio. You hear the music slightly, but you don't hear them talk.
That sucks.
It's
So everyone was just like
quiet. And then, so I didn't know what to do. and then I just shout from the back of the room because I didn't. when I showed the video, I didn't want to stand in the front, you know, watching really awkwardly. So I went to the back to watch, and I can sort of see people's reactions
You
too.
shouted, "There's supposed to be audio."
I literally shouted that. I was like, "There's supposed to be audio in this part," and then it's still quiet, and then it's like a long segment too, and I was like, "This is so awkward.
Yeah.
What do I do?" So then I just shouted, "Okay, so basically what they're saying is they love you guys and they miss you guys and they love Mess and Flit," and then it's just awkward until the slideshow starts again.
Yeah, that's
It's
really
terrible.
weird.
Like it was really bad, and I didn't know what to do.
That's funny.
Like it was terrible.
Yeah.
Have you ever had those moments where it's like,
Oh yeah.
at your music stuff or like, what do you mean?
I mean, okay, so actually, I'm just thinking of like a recent musical event. So at the spring concert,
Right.
Donnie and I were supposed to play for full orchestra, right? And I didn't know when full orchestra was going on, and Donnie did. And so Donnie went out, whatever, and they're all like waiting.
And where
then
were you?
Donnie comes back into the band room where
Oh, you were
I'm
in the band
just
room.
sitting on my
Okay.
phone. And he's like, "Max, come on, we gotta go." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever. It's probably time to go." I get out there. Everyone is looking at me and
You're
ready to
kidding.
play. Like they're
When
all
was
like
this?
bows ready at the spring concert this year.
What?
Yes, no one talked about it because I was like,
I didn't see this.
no one did.
Wait, so was the entire audience just like quiet and
No,
watching?
yeah, everyone was quiet, and like the whole orchestra was looking at me. And then we didn't have the music,
You're kidding.
and Donnie picked it up so many times because he didn't know what to play because we had played it once. You know what I
Do
mean?
you guys at least know like what song you're playing?
We did, but we didn't have the music for it. But I was playing Suspended Symbol, which is really easy to like make up because it's just like supposed to be like cinematic.
What was he playing?
Snare drum, and that's hard
And
to
it's
do.
loud.
Like,
You can hear it throughout the entire auditorium.
and then at one point, you can see it in like a recording of the band. He starts playing, and then she's like, "No, you're wrong," and then he just stops, and then he just leaves.
He leaves?
He went to go find the music, and then like with
Wait,
like
mid-song he
yeah.
leaves? That's not good.
I know, and 40 measures left or whatever, he comes back in with the music, and we finish the song.
Did it at least work for the
Correct.
40 remaining
Yes.
40 measures? What did she say about that?
Nothing, dude. I just left after. I was like, F that. Like, I don't want to look at her ever again. Like, that was so embarrassing.
That's terrible.
I know.
Wait, so you guys are in the middle of the song, Donnie walks up and leaves?
He walks out the back, 'cause we're in the back corner, so he just kind of, like, shuffles.
Through the orchestra room, though, right?
Yeah.
So no one can see.
Yeah.
Was
But, like,
it noticeable? It had to have been for her.
yes.
She can definitely see just the snare drum stand up and leave.
Well, he didn't stand up. He wasn't sitting at the drum set. It was, like, the standing snare. You know what I
Oh.
mean?
And he just leaves.
Yeah, he just left.
And what were you doing?
Making up the part, and I was, like, reading the xylophone part, 'cause, like,
You can
Ethan
kinda,
was
like,
right next to me, so I just wanted to know where I was in the song.
Okay.
And dude, Ethan was lost.
He
I was like,
lost.
"Yo, where are we?" And he's like,
I don't know.
"Yeah," and I was like,
That's really bad.
"Yeah, I know."
How did no one talk about that?
They probably did, dude.
'Cause
And I
this is
heard
the
she's like super strict.
I mean, she's been really nice to me.
Yeah, I know, and she's been really nice to me too. But like,
Until then,
well, no, I mean, I haven't really.
talked to her since.
Yeah, I mean, I did. She said hi at the.
Check. What?
One's rolling. That's all that's important, dude.
What's that one
My
saying?
head hurts so bad.
What is it because of this?
I don't know, dude.
When did you wake up today?
5:45.
How'd you wake up so early? Why'd you wake up so early?
Work. I told you like 2 minutes ago. Like you could see it in the podcast.
You caddy, right? You caddy.
Yes.
I didn't know why I posed that as a question. You
Because
caddy.
the audience doesn't know.
Right. So Max caddies, and you caddy at the country club.
Yes.
That one I actually legitimately don't know.
Yes, I do.
How long have you done it?
This is my 4th year.
What's it like? It sounds
Stressful.
because like with golf. So we both sort of golf. He golfs.
Mhm.
I sort of golf.
No, I haven't played golf
in
in a
a
long
while.
time.
We sort of golf then, and it's basically so a golf match is really boring, but it can be fun depending on who you're golfing with. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially with the school team, it like if you're golfing with certain people that I won't name,
Mm-hmm.
like it's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
so boring. I'm not gonna call them out.
Just cover the. Yeah.
It's so boring.
He's
He's
this
really
kid.
He's really good at golf. Okay, so
you just spoiled it.
no, there are 3 different people that I could be talking about. No, there are 3 people that I could be talking
Gotta
about when I
cut
say
your
really good.
Air
Especially
out.
this year, there are a lot of people that are really good. I'll say especially this year.
Yeah, that's why I didn't play.
You didn't, yes.
I
So
didn't want to.
it was really boring at sometimes. But other times, all right, let me say this in case they do discover who they are. They're a great person.
Yeah.
They're really smart too.
Mm-hmm.
But golfing with them is so boring.
Yeah.
Like, it's really boring. But then there are other people that when you golf with them, it's just like a good time.
Yeah.
Because you kind of like just joke the whole time.
And you play better too.
Yeah,
when you're,
because
like,
you're not like
relaxed.
stressed
Yeah.
trying to impress other people.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, I can't imagine like caddying then.
I mean, I would say it's very different. You can't really like. I know it's you're golfing. You're like on the golf course and you're watching people golf, but like it's a very different experience.
What's your
from
worst
playing
golf experience?
My worst caddy
Or caddy
golf
experience,
experience.
Caddy. Like, what's the worst thing that's happened at the country club? Because there are like, from what I've heard, there are some people at the country club that are
Yeah,
just
there are
like,
mean people, but
annoying.
I honestly don't really have too many bad experiences. Because like a lot of them happen when you're young and you're not super good. You know, you're new.
And you don't know, especially that they're like
And you're just not really good at talking to people and
Right.
serving them because it's a service. You're providing them a service.
because
Right?
you also have to help them like determine stuff, right?
It depends. It depends on the person. Everything really depends on the person.
Have
I
you ever
would
lost
say.
a ball?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
do you
like
do?
some of the more stressful. You just try to find it and then.
So for caddying, like, what does the job actually entail? Because I remember at one point I wanted to caddy.
Yeah. So at the beginning, you know, when you get there, the caddy master will tell you like,
Who
okay,
you're caddying for.
yeah. And that's especially when you're younger, like, or when you're newer. I guess you don't really have to be young. When you're newer, that's like it can be late. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can get there and then sit on the bench for like 2 hours and not get out.
But don't you technically have a schedule that you're like, okay, at this
No.
time you're showing up and you're going with this person?
No.
You don't
yeah,
know?
No.
So do they just assign you to someone randomly when you show up?
Yep.
If they have someone available?
Yeah. And a lot of country clubs don't do that, but Metuchen does. But the good thing about that is that eventually, as you get older, he will text you. Like, he texted me yesterday, or he texted me 2 days ago, be there at 6:45 on Sunday.
Okay.
And that was, like, telling me that I had a loop. That's what we call it, a loop.
Is that just like a shift?
Yeah,
Loop
it's
and
just like it's like an outing. Like,
Okay.
you're caddying for someone, it's a loop.
So at that point, did you know who you were caddying for?
No.
You didn't.
No.
So every time you go, you just
Yeah, it's like a surprise.
do you ever caddy for the same person?
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's usually fine. I mean, I haven't, like, some people caddy for the same person every time for, like, years.
But is that like
And then
is that just a coincidence though? Because
No.
typically-
Like, because then at that point, if they like you so much or they want you as to be their caddy,
Right.
they'll give them, or they'll ask for your number and they'll text you like, I'm going out on Wednesday at 3:30. Like, need you to caddy for me.
That
And
sounds
then
like
it's like it's less through the country club and more through just
like
the connection.
personal.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like. I feel like only rich people would do that.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like dominated by rich people, so it's all the stuff that happens there.
Don't they tip well though? I heard like
Well, it's you only see at Metuchen you only get paid in tips. Like, the country club doesn't pay you at all, which
They
is
don't?
which is
also working
unorthodox.
through just straight with the actual because you said before like you can go through it and not go through it based on the people like the country club.
Yeah,
That's
like
in ways better, right?
Yeah, no, I don't pay any taxes. I don't have working papers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have
Are you
to.
required to?
You're supposed to by the state of New Jersey if an employee is paying you. But see, that's the thing. You're providing a service for the. You're not providing a service
For
for
the
the
country
business.
club.
You know what I mean? You're
You're
just providing.
right.
Yeah, you're just like helping.
Is that
like,
legal?
Yeah, no, I mean it is because it's like you could be. Yeah, exactly. It's like you could be mowing your grandma's lawn. It would be the same thing if she pays you for that.
That's such like if you think about it though, that's so weird. Like it
It
doesn't
is.
make sense.
It's nice though, and like, it's a lot of money.
Do you work through like do you do more of through the country club or more through the actual players?
What do you mean?
Like 'cause do you get more jobs through like the country club texting you like, hey, come in at this time, you have a loop?
I mean, normally no. Recently, yes. I don't really have any members' numbers for like it. Just all these years, like I've always just done with different people. So it's, now the country club is starting to text me more saying like, okay, come in like at this time, like 'cause they know that I want to be there early and that I'll be there consistently early. But like if they don't text me, I'll show up at 7
Right.
and just try to get the first, like then they'll just give me the whoever.
Is it like a first come first serve?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you got to get there early.
And you usually show up early?
Yeah, I try to. Recently, this year, I've been trying to show up at like 6:55.
I can't do that at all.
No,
waking up, that sounds...
It is. It really sucks 'cause it kills your weekend, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 'Cause for me, I've always been a night person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, listening to, like, stuff like that, where it's like,
Yeah.
over the course of, like, a school week, I know, like, okay, I have to get up at this time and get to school. Yeah. But at the weekends, I kind of, like, plan where it's like, all right, I want one day where I can just... I don't want to say sleep in, because I don't necessarily do that anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to wake up without an alarm.
Yeah, see, I haven't done that in probably 4 weeks.
Wake up without an alarm?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've worked both days. So I got up earlier on the weekends.
But like, and then yesterday
school.
you did ACT, which is also early as heck.
But I would have worked if I didn't have ACT.
Because like for me, it's like...
But it's paying off.
Yeah, because you get money.
Yeah, I made $700 in the last 2 months. But like... last month and a half.
Is that considered, like, if we really divide that into hours, is that good?
Yeah, because I work 8 hours a week, tops.
Oh, then
so
that's
like
really good.
Yeah, because if I'm making, say, like, hopefully a normal weekend would be, like, from, like, $120 to $240.
Right.
For 8 hours.
Right.
Or, like, 7. Let's say 7.
Okay.
Recently, it's been $240 for 7 hours a week. So if you divide that out, it's like in between $30 and $40,
which is
really
an
good. Hour.
Like I know people who right now are desperately trying to get 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And
never.
It's not working out.
It's hard. But
then there are also like other jobs that I think are worth it, not because of the pay, but for the perks.
Yeah.
Like John Davis, he works. They're not giving. AMC's tricky.
Yeah.
But
got weird rules.
Yeah, so he works at a movie theater, and from my understanding, the perks are basically you get, I think, literally like a free movie any day. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And you got to bring a guest.
That's cool.
I know the guest part is for sure, but I'm not sure if it's every day or like every week. But I'm pretty sure what he told me was you can just go in and just say, listen, I want to redeem a ticket, and I'm bringing in a guest. And you can go for any movie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really cost them that much money to screen a movie. You know what I mean? So it's like, that would make sense.
But it costs a lot to get into movies.
Yeah, but you're paying for a lot, especially with AMC. You're paying for like the people who are gonna bring you out your food if you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And he also gets like half price on food. And I'm pretty sure he has like the exclusive thing where it's like some movies you can show up. No, they do like a special screening for employees. Like a week early, I think, or something like that, or like 2 weeks early, and he could just do that with like any movie. He'll just like get an email, yeah. So it's like pretty.
Is my hair all like crazy?
So.
John was gonna tell me.
I mean, I don't care.
I look like that. You know who I look like?
Who do you look like? So there are definitely segments of this podcast that I have to either beep out or just freeze because, I mean, I don't want to give people shout-outs. And there are some people that I've named that I'm like, I don't want to name you. Or there are things where it's like, let's say earlier when I said the movie theater, I'm probably going to beep out the movie theater. Because, I don't want to give them promotion. Even though that's obviously not what it is, but I just don't want to do that in case. But like, in my opinion, with like, you are.
You can see my eyes, like I just look tired.
It's been
I'll fall asleep while driving us to the.
It's been a long day.
Festival.
Especially this week though. It's been a really, really long week.
Yeah.
School ends next week.
Oh my god, this week's gonna be very long too.
Yeah.
Because do we have half days?
Okay. With that,
I feel like we
I
normally
did research.
do.
We normally do, but now the half days lie on final days, like finals week, which makes
we don't go
zero
to
sense
school
to me.
during finals week.
Exactly. If you look on the calendar at the school website, it literally says half days on the days that we have finals. The Wednesday, Thursday that we have finals, which makes zero sense.
Maybe they screwed it up.
But here's the thing: if we have half days on the actual school days, my whole filming schedule gets screwed up. You know what I mean? Because I even
Yeah.
looked on the calendar.
It's hard to. I don't know if you're expecting people to film on Thursday night. Like that. I don't know if people are gonna want to film. It's the last day of school.
Thursday night, I only need 3 people.
The 3 main actors.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Aaron Purser.
I have to do a house. There's a house band performance that night.
For what?
7.
For what?
It's like a house band concert, like end of the year concert, dude.
At
There's gonna be like 6 people there.
Where at school?
Yes, I don't want to do it.
It's fine. No one. Wait, it's at school.
It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just like it's.
No, I
why
know
is it
it's
on
like-
the Thursday? It's
Okay,
like the
so
last
Thursday's
day
the
of
last day of school essentially, and then Friday we start final.
Yeah.
Friday we start finals. So is it in the auditorium or how does that work?
Wait, the performance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the auditorium.
No one's gonna go to that.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
to
like
sound
my parents are like
rude.
maybe. Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's gonna go to that. 'Cause here's my thought. It's the last day of school, and is it for each of the schools, like the middle school and the elementary? But like, why would you schedule it on that day? You might
No,
as
it's
well
not the
schedule it
last
on-
day of school 'cause they don't have finals in middle school and
Oh.
elementary school, so they end on
But then
our
they
last
still have
final.
school on Friday.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go to a concert Thursday night, especially if you're in middle school?
I mean, it's not gonna be like late. It's gonna be at 7.
Oh, that's
Hopefully, it'll be done by like 8:30, 9. I'm only taking 2 finals this year, so I don't
You
know when the French final is. I know when the
Taking 3.
math. I know when the math final is.
Yeah, same. I'm taking 3 finals. this year.
So
I got very lucky with taking 3 finals. though.
yeah,
So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. So, recording this podcast again next week will be tough. But
Yeah.
Next week,
certainly.
we have 2 options right now. It depends on how the schedule works. I'm either filming with Maeve Kenny
Okay.
or with you again.
Me
And-
again?
You what? Yeah. So, we're going to have to try our best to figure out this camera situation. But my thought is this, ready? It's a podcast. You're technically not even supposed to have video.
Yeah.
So, having one camera is already, I don't want to say luxury,
Yeah.
but a privilege. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
see.
mean? So what I think is if there's like parts where it cuts out and the audio's good, I think I might just put the logo and just
Yeah.
say like the screen cut out.
Yeah.
And we're still working on it. But basically we're still working on this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode though.
Yeah.
We're
It's been
trying
fun.
our best
Thanks
to
for
try things out.
having me as the guest.
Most likely it's going to be you for a lot of things though. Because it's just how the
'Cause
schedule
I'm a,
lines
I'm
up.
a well-rounded individual, an intellectual.
Quick fast forward
kind
though,
soul.
in about 2 weeks, I think, in about 2 weeks I have my surgery. So during that
Mhm.
time, I'm sure there will be a podcast where it's probably just you and someone else. It'll probably be you and Freddie or something. 'Cause
That would be fun.
yeah, I can't.
What do you think, Freddie?
Freddie? Yeah. so
Nods head
I mean-
vigorously.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep.
We'll post. Here's the thing. I'm sure I'm gonna put a podcast up every week. It's really not that difficult to film. It's just making sure that the cameras are working.
Yeah.
So
If I have a headache like this every week, I might have to
We're-
quit though.
yeah, that's fine.
This hurts so bad.
It does. But then again, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next week. Bye.
What you do if it's